Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're at the Circuit de la Sarthe. This is the Le Mans. We're in the World Touring Car 700, and today we're taking a GT3 car to the test. We're going to compete with the GT1s at our Le Mans series and at the final race at Le Mans on June the 15th all the way through to June 16th. All 24 hours and a digital rendition of the race. There's going to be currently 7 teams racing against the clock. Hopefully we can get some more. If you've got any inclination or any desire to do this race, and it's something that you would consider something to be a lifetime achievement, if you're never going to get there in a real car, could you do it in a digital car? Could you find 2 friends to assist you to do that? You all have to be playing on the same PlayStation in the same house, but all 3 of you could assist each other to get through and complete this race. It's more of an endurance challenge than a race to the finish, but the offer is there. Contact me on Widdowmaker 10144 on PSN, or use the details below in the description to contact me. If you're even slightly interested in taking place the race, get in touch and we'll talk about it. So settings for this car are going to be quite interesting. I'm actually going to take you through the tuning process quite effectively. It's probably going to be really quite simple. We have only got to find 9 pp to get this inside the target. I am going to make this a edited tune. So I might just trim the video up a little bit just to show you how it's done. There's nothing massive to do in this World Touring Car 700 set. We of course will make the rear diff all the 5s, and because this is editable, it's relatively straightforward. The default setup gives you mid-wing on the rear, already down to 706. We'll keep that in the middle. Ooh, what are we going to do? Are we just going to take the power out the restrictor to go down 6 pp? We don't even do that much, do we? Look at that, just a tiny bit. If we actually do that and then we tune the front wing down, oh, didn't even need to go that much. 699.52 gives us 484 brake horsepower, so we're relatively quick. Transmission is the normal one. I don't think we've ever bought anything. Now it's just be the defaults. We could actually drop the PP. Yes. Come back, I'll cut this. Let's see. We're going to go all the way back into here to do it. Racing hards. 740, that takes us a long way, doesn't it? We're just going to put these back on. So we're fully in. We could potentially put it back almost a default setting. Look, it's not going up very quickly. We're just gonna give ourselves a little bit of trickiness. There we go, 699.94. That's where we get to. So we have got 0 adjustment then. So we got on the downforce on the front, we have 416. That's to tune the PP. 700 on the rear, which is everything. 100 on the ECU, 100 on the restrictor, so no restriction at all. Racing manual box at 290. We've got no turbochargers, so it could be a little bit breathless. Nothing else added. We've got the brake controller, which we can happily put to wherever we want to when we're racing, and we'll do that. But that's your lot, folks. Let's go to the track. So this is the 30 minutes of Le Mans. It's a 30-minute race. We cross the line at 30 minutes and you complete the next lap, or the current lap that you're on. And if you potentially just going to cross the line and the time is about to tick, is it best to hang on and wait and allow yourself to cross the line afterwards, or do you go for that extra lap anyway and try and drive it home? That's entirely up to you. Assists will be traction control 1, default ABS. We're going to go weak ABS. and counter steer on strong. Nothing else on. Controller settings. We're on a Fanatec DD Extreme. We're on force feedback max torque 3, force feedback sensitivity 10. One thing I'm noticing with using this wheel now and the settings is I am starting to get faster. I can feel it. What I'm searching for now is a bit more road feel, a bit more feel from the curbs, but I don't want any more wheel weight. I just want to feel the vibrations of the road, the unevenness of the surface, and when you rumble over the curbs. So that's where I want to be next. However, let's change up now and get ready for the race. So on the left hand side now you can see the foot cam that we've triggered up. You can see my little tootsies. And you can also see just here we have a QR code. This is for use particularly on the day of the Le Mans race. But if you feel the urge to give that a go and follow that to the end, just scan the screen. And that'll take you to the donations page at Make-A-Wish. As it is above me here, you can see this event is destined for Make-A-Wish. This is what we're going to try and raise some money for. Just doing that 24 hours with maybe, we're hoping for 30 people to be able to do it. We'll have to see. And we'll all be supported through the channel and by you. We'll aim to see how far we can go. Let's dive onto the circuit and see where this car takes us. So fuel map is going to be interesting. We haven't been changing the fuel map for the cars we've been using. They have been sufficiently capable. So this car feels a little bit light in the horses. Oh, it's got some turning at the front. Probably not got all the power that it needs. Bit of wheel spin. Into 18th place pretty early. We're just going to back off these boys and we'll try and take them at a more convenient point. We haven't really got the legs on them, but well, Mr. Cato took the line there, didn't he? Yes, we have got the legs here. We can just use their slipstream just a wee bit. We might be able to really chuck on down the circuit. Mr. Hayward on our right hand side, just running close. Into 6th gear. Now we're chasing down Mr. Gallo. We're hoping we're going to be doing fairly quick laps. Please forgive me, dying. The back end got a little bit squirrely there. I let the traction control soak that up. That's why we've got it on. Without traction control, we might have been facing the wrong way. So I'm hoping we're going to get 3 laps, which tells us it's going to be a 2-stop race. We'll have to think about the weather. We always take the weather with us, don't we? Everywhere we go, we always take the weather. Might be a bit crowded in this room. We haven't actually had a lot of weather the last 3 races, to be honest. We've had 2 dry races, and then yesterday's race caught us by surprise. Then we changed tyres. Thought for 2 to 3 laps that we'd made the wrong decision, but then that came good with a bit of a downpour at the end. I think the phrase I used was a smattering of rain, which tickled a couple of people. Into 9th place. We've made good progress. This Porsche is currently my lead car, and I know I haven't shown you the livery, which I should do. And there she is. It's a GT Omega Widdowmaker livery, but it's not particularly festooned with the Make-A-Wish. It was developed prior to the Make-A-Wish thing was thought of, and I haven't pestered JB for any more skins. He's been a busy boy. So I haven't particularly pushed him for skins. He's done a lot of work, and he's also doing skins for other people. So we are going to be doing a super song of GT3 cars. We're going to be littering the GT1 field with GT3 cars and classics. We're do want some classics because we want the fast cars that people can use to not forget this is a grind race, this one. These are all cars to suggest for the grind that you might want to earn credit with. If you grind the right way, the way that we did, you can get through the game without ever using a car twice. Or without ever using a car beyond its enjoyment level. You don't want to get to a point in the game where it's boring old, boring old, boring old. But some people want to use the fastest possible car and tomahawk and wall ride around Tokyo, and that's entirely up to you. But the way we envisage this game going, we want to enjoy it, to play it and not feel sick of it, and we've done alright for 2 years. The game is currently updating. There's an update planned for 1.37 that's due to come, just to fix some issues from update 1.36 that sneak through the quality control net. But you know, hopefully all those are going to be ironed out, and they'll remove the bot tuning ability, which has kind of hampered people's league races, which is a shame. But what we'll do for now is just concentrate on where we're going. We've got 6 weeks. It'll be 6 weeks this weekend, and we're going to be at Le Mans. We're going to be doing the race. So we're currently doing like a WEC series, a World Endurance Car Series for the leagues. GT3 on a Tuesday. This is my league car, as I said, and then GT1 on a Friday. I'm going to use the Porsche tomorrow night for Daytona. I think that's the right car for me. A lot of the guys will be using the 908, and I think it'll be daft not to use the 908, to be honest. It's that bit quicker on the straights, and I think the 908 is the car to use. We will have to use that 908 very soon in this race, just to make sure people know what it's about. But it's a great car. I think the 908 will be the one to use, I think. Even in this race, the 908 is the one. So we make it past Mr. McEwen into 3rd place. We don't have a 7th gear. He's coming back at us in his GR4. Ooh. We got a bit tank slappery there, didn't we? We carried just a little bit too much speed. As I took my foot off the brake, the car rotated, which is something I've noticed, and this is again all part of getting used to driving this wheel and this setup with these pedals. The pedals, it's taken me a couple of weeks to get my head round just how they work and how you see on the GT7 pedals, it was about not smashing through the braking point, the 100% point where you engage the brakes. This car, these pedals, you tune the pedals to that 100% point with the dial and a setting within the wheel, so you never lock the wheels up at all. There's no brake. Well, if you brake too late and you punch the brakes, but if you brake at the right point and you give it the right amount of pressure, and as somebody described it, you stand on the brakes, the car comes to the perfect speed for the turning. And it slides into the turning. It turns in. Then as you reach the point to hit the power, the car just turns. So this week's time trial is a classic demonstration of that with Skoda at Watkins Glen, the Skoda VGT. I am seriously enjoying that, and I find myself looking at the time trials and thinking, I'll just have 5 minutes, and then it's just one more go, and then it's we could do a little bit better than that. Let's have another go. And suddenly 45 minutes, an hour later, I'm still on it. Mr. Portilla, I don't know if you're going to the pits or you're going 3 laps. I think you're going to go 3 laps. I don't want you to hold me up, so I'm just going to... Oh, you're just starting to lose it. I'm on the brakes just a little bit. We keep it inside. I'm going to go past you. I've got the fuel to go another lap, so that's what we're going to do. Now, we haven't got the ability with this car to back off and just run the laps like we had on the last 3 races. There was no real desperate need to pit in any of them, was there, in terms of where the car needed to go in terms of fuel. Tyre use was absolutely awesome on them, so It was only because of the rain coming in on the third race that we actually had to really go to the pit. So the rear's on this. This is lap 3 now. We've got one more lap of fuel, so at the end of lap 3 we're going to be coming in using all the curb. So hopefully with a little bit of advertising and interest raising, we can get people to join us at the race. And I genuinely am going to see if I can post on as many of the Facebook pages that I know and go on to see if people will join us. It'd be great if we could get a global audience. It would be great if we could get some more countries represented. At the moment we've got Holland, the UK or England. Oh, there's rain and I hadn't thought about rain. I can feel the rain. Have we got rain? Brake balance is in the mid of the car. We have got rain. Oh, I think we're lucky. I think we'll get to the pits if we need to. So yeah, we've got the UK, the Netherlands. I know we've got a racer in Sweden who would like to take part. I don't know whether he can. I don't know whether he's going to attempt it on his own. We've got at least 2 racers in the USA who are wanting to give this a bash. So we've got some solos giving it a go. And we've also got teams. Now, at the end of the day, we will still soldier on. If there's only 6 cars on the grid, that's as many as we'll get. But I do urge people, please do. If this is something you wanted to do and you're looking for that endurance race in GT7, that one ultimate race, we're going to set a lobby up. It's going to last 24 hours. You can start. You can see how far you can go. It will be a tremendous event. There's going to be live commentary for all 24 hours, whether I'm driving, because I need to be driving as well, or whether I'm going to be sat at another terminal engaged with another licensed log on for GT7. We're going to be able to give you what would you want to call it? We'll give you spectator cam, and I'll commentate along spectator cam, and we'll try and hook up with people on PSM to have conversations whilst they're driving and see if we can get them to talk to us and answer a few questions about why they're doing what they want to do. Did they ever want to be a race driver, etc. You could also ask us questions. You could put the questions to them. If you've got questions you want to ask, or you want questions you want answered, don't forget to hook us up. Now we can do that on the night. I intend to have all the channels that I rage on Twitch and on YouTube, and we'll have the chat panels up, and I'll be see who's chatting. We'll also have a live feed from the giving page, and I do want to announce today, because I'm doing a little bit of announcing in every sort of video. I did announce yesterday they got the timing wrong, but we'll get that out to the drivers and we'll get that all clarified. Here we go, we're going to the pits very, very soon. We're going to stay on these hard racing tyres. We're going to change them, but we're not going to change to wets. We're going to stay on the dry tyres. So what we're going to announce today, we'll announce just after the pit stop when we get back on the circuit. So here we go. We're going in. We've got an 11-second lead. In we come, and away we go through. Let's take a drink. We are going to change to hards. We'll take all the fuel. So it's took us 13 minutes and something to get this far. It's not actually. Yes, it has. It's took us 13 minutes and something. We're going to be at... No, it's taken us 12 minutes and something. We're going to be at 13 minutes when that timer hits 17. Here we go. So over the last couple of weeks I've been collecting little bits and pieces. I've also been getting some trial bits of merch. A mug, potentially a hat on the way. I want to get a t-shirt. Here we go, we're on our way. I definitely want a mug. and they're going to be giveaways. I've got a couple of GT Amiga bits and pieces, which I'm going to give away, and we will ensure that we do have things that people will not necessarily auction. What I'm going to try and do is every 4 hours or so is the person who makes the largest gift, the largest donation to Make-A-Wish, I will scan back through the list, and the person who's made the largest donation, declared donation of course, will win that item. But it will be random. You won't know which of the gifts and when those gifts are going to be aired, so you would just literally have to take your opportunity to make your little pledge. If your pledge is successful, you will win an item. I'll get in touch with you somehow, and I'll get that thing in the post to you, whatever it's going to be, whatever you do win. These are going to be one-offs. There's not going to be ever anything to equal this item, whichever one it's going to be, of course. Let's see if we can put some front brake balance on and go from there. Let's keep the weather on an eye on the weather. We're 8 seconds in the lead. Mr. Hayward catching. It's very close. The track is still dry. That rain hasn't really affected where we're going. It feels slippy. It looks slippery. This car is going to be tremendously fast. It's powered up against its rivals. It is a GR3 versus a GR4. There is a distinct difference, but how will it compare against the GR1s? That's the question. I think it's going to be pretty quick. If you look at those times, 4:09, there aren't many cars. There's a 4:06 is our fastest lap, isn't it? 4:06, 6:44. So there aren't many GR1s that do that time. Or are they? Are they doing 3:30s? I don't know. I can't remember. My memory is terrible. But let's see where we go. Don't forget, this race is going to be subject to the full weather. It looks like the wind has changed slightly, and we're going to be popping out of this cloud. There we go, into the clearing. The sun's going to start to come through. We're on lap 4. Charging through. Well, as we know, it is a good little car. And if you are considering using a GT3 car, I don't believe we've got any GT3 entries at the minute. I haven't even felt close to getting a penalty in any of the laps. It's very controllable. It's very drivable. We've got our setup. It's going to be bopped for the real race, so you're going to be pegged back to where the car is. You won't be able to tune you will be able to tune the aero. We're going to allow you to do that. You'll get some wing change. But you've got to remember, you can't just go for the fastest setup, because once you've got that setup set at the start of the race, you've got to stick with it. So rain or shine, you've got to have that downforce for that level of race. So I think the wise thing to do is to at least configure it for rain. If you're going to get any, if we're going to get any. The weather forecasting is going to tell us a massive amount, is it? Which will be a shame. 12 minutes remaining. Lap 5. 1.9 laps of fuel, so we're going to get lap 6 completed. We're now up to a 15-second lead. Mr. Portilla is charging. He is chasing us down. We are just still sliding ahead. Every couple of seconds we're eking out a tenth. We're going to brake halfway between these two braking points. The two white arrows on the right hand side of the track. Often wondered what that building is on the right. It's some sort of factory, isn't it? Don't really get a good look and see. I know, when you're in the other views, you don't get a left or right view, do you? You can do there. I need to go back and look at the range screen, the weather radar, and see what it's telling us. The old weather has been really generous to us the last couple of days. Maybe this last update, maybe that was something else they got wrong. But I believe the update is due on the 7th, which is next week. So if we're half a second a lap slower than a GR1, if the GR1s are doing 330s, and we're doing 406s, they're going to be 30 seconds a lap faster. And that's all going to be cornering speed, because I suppose the GR1, some of them do 180, 190, don't they? But there are other cars to choose and use. This is a circuit not a lot of people like to race on. It's a long circuit. It's not as tricky as your Nürburgring, and it isn't unpredictable. You don't have corners come at you, continuous left and rights, different radius. You have to memorize it, but you don't have to have picture perfect memory as we go 21 seconds clear of Mr. Portilla. I haven't seen any purple indicators to see where we are against time. We haven't really looked like we're putting an absolute sparkling lap with 1.7 seconds down. We're going to get another lap in. Looks like we're going to be fairly clear of the weather. We're going to pit stop, and I would sort of suggest that there's a chance of a lap 8. Maybe. Beautifully poised as we came through there. So a 4:06.635 just pips the fastest lap. But I would suggest this thing would be a really comfortable drive and a really good way to be competitive and at least give yourself a chance of maybe winning that GT3 class. It would be awesome to have a GT3 team in there. Go purple first sector. Mr. McEwen goes to the pits with 29 seconds, 30 seconds in the lead. Lap 6, the rain is just disappearing to the south of the screen. We're going to pit stop, and the question is, do we take 1 lap of fuel or do we take 2 laps of fuel? We would need 4 minutes 30 4 minutes 30 remaining if we were going to half a second penalty, which is where we are above in the pink, in the purple. So we'd need 4:37 as we leave, 4:27 as we leave the pits to get that extra lap in. If we take 2 laps of fuel, we'll have to work that out at the end of this lap. So if we go into the pits with 5, gaining. We're not going to be able to purple this lap because we're going to go to the pits, but we never managed to get the 8th lap with any of the GT1 cars so far. We've not been onto the 8th lap. We've got 2 minutes to get in and out of the pits. Is it going to be possible? Well, we have to take the fuel, don't we, to try and get there? Or do we take the fuel, cross the line, and then limp our way round? That wouldn't work well for the grind process. We are far enough ahead to consider that potential. Do we go for the extra lap, or do we park up and take the win? We're still in for a chance, but we know that pink is not gonna be possible because we're pitting. So we've got a minute to get in and out of the pits. I don't think that's going to be possible. We might come out with 4 minutes remaining. We shall see. We shall take 2 laps of fuel. We shall see if we can do it. We're going to dive in for 48. It's interesting. It's very close. We're not going to change tyres. Don't change tyres, and we're going to take 2 laps of fuel. 4:30 on the clock. We haven't changed lap yet. I want to be out on 4. If we're out on 4, we've got a chance. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, it's just taken. Oh. We could do it if we don't have to take the fuel. There we go. 3:55. The sun's come out to heat the track up now. The heat is in the tyres. Mr. Portilla's in behind us. He was short of fuel as well. I think we're going to be around about 15, 16 seconds short. We can go back to the timing screen. We've got the fuel. So an optimal lap of a 4:03. We know that's not going to be the way. The in lap was a 4:32. The out lap's a 4:27. It doesn't fill me with much hope. 2:52 remaining. I think it's a tremendous car. It's definitely a competitor. Put it up against the GR1s though, we'll know that with the custom race that comes up at the end, won't we? I might have to list them, I might have to grid them in finishing time order, reverse grid, fastest at the back, slowest at the front, and see how the AI cope with them. We'll have to go on fastest lap rather than fastest race time. That would be the fairest way, I think. So we'll have to do a little bit of data collation, and then I've got to come up with a car that's got the best possible chance of winning. Wonder what we'll choose. A historic maybe. Maybe the 917 rather than Living Legend, which we used at Spa. Maybe. 47 seconds in the lead. There's 1 minute 31 remaining. I don't think that's going to be enough to take us to the 8th lap. But to be 48 seconds in the clear on what was effectively a dry race is pretty impressive. But it's GR3s against GR4s, isn't it? So that's just putting that into some form of reality, some sort of realism. GR3 is always going to go quicker than the GR4. 53 seconds to get to the line. What do we think is our chance? We've got the fuel, I think. I think we have 40 seconds. Bit into that corner. That was me saying 15 or 16 seconds short. I think if we were to, I don't think we could do it. No, we're just outside. Just outside, even with the penalties. Oh, it was worth a try. Cheaty, cheaty, naughty, naughty. That's bad. Never done that before. Feel like a naughty school kid. But a great car. A great car. Even though it failed to meet the 8th lap, it's still on a dry race with rain. Pretty impressive. 54 seconds ahead. So I think we got through the line before it applied the penalties, but we just missed out. The fastest lap on lap number 5 of 4:06.635. The slowest car today was again Mr. Lopez, 3 minutes 15. So by all situations, that Porsche is probably the fastest car in real terms that we've actually used for the race distance. But there you have it. It has won the 825,000 credits. That's extra to the bank. We're closing in on 15 million. The cash is racking up, and so could it for you. Let's hope it does for Make-A-Wish. But with that, folks, there's another option for your grind racing. Something to keep you interested, something to keep the game alive and to keep you enjoying it. We will see you on the next one. All the best. Take care, folks. Goodbye for now. There she is. Great livery. Thank you, JB. That is my league livery this time round. No, it hasn't. Didn't do very well on Tuesday. It wasn't the livery, it was the driver, as always. But there you have it, folks. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care. Good night.